Hi guys! It's Friday, which means a new video. So, as of today, I have officially survived my first 3 weeks of college, and I've learned a lot actually. So I thought today I would talk about some of the things that, kind of surprised me about college. So please keep in mind that I do not go to a 4-year university. I am going to a 2-year technical college, so I don't have the whole dorm life or anything. I'm still living at home. So I don't know anything about that, and we're not going to talk about that today. However, there are a lot of things that I didn't realize about college that maybe I should have, maybe they're obvious, but they're kind of a surprise to me. So I'm going to list a few of them for you today. I think the biggest thing for me was the fact that high school claimed that they are preparing you for life and for college, and that is so not the case. At least for me it wasn't. Maybe they totally think that they're doing a good job at preparing me for life and for college, but no. I didn't realize just how much they made me do in high school until I got to college and they were like, hey, you're here, you want to be here, so act like it. In high school, you have to be there. In college, you choose to be there, so they expect you to be an adult. You don't raise your hand to go to the bathroom, or if you need to leave the class or for any reason, you're expected to take care of everything for yourself, which makes total sense because that's a part of life, but high school did not prepare me for that. I think the next biggest thing is the fact that in high school, a lot of people can get away with a lot of excuses of why they didn't do an assignment or why they missed a class or something. In college, that's not the case. Teachers don't care why you missed a class or why you didn't do an assignment. It just comes down to the fact that you didn't do the assignment and you weren't in class. They don't want to hear whatever excuse you came up with, real or not. And that's just a fact. The thing is, in high school, if you miss an assignment, it probably won't affect your grade that much overall. But in college, if you miss one assignment, it can be worth a lot of points and it can really hurt your grade in the end. So one thing that I realized about college that I actually really love, and at least this is true for my teachers, is they don't believe in busy work, which is wonderful. Any assignment I get is strictly to do with what we're learning, and they're not going to hand me some silly little assignment just for points, which can be tougher in the end because that means the assignments you have to do are worth a lot more, but it's a lot nicer to do less work. So I think the next thing I realized was that you kind of have to study a little bit more and actually read your textbooks. There were a lot of classes in high school that I didn't really study and I didn't really read the textbook, but I got through the class just fine with an A. But in college, that's not the case. And I think it's tougher that you have to actually read the textbook before you come to class. Like, you need to read the chapter before. Because if you don't, you're kind of lost during class, and it's really difficult to catch yourself back up. Plus, the chapters are kind of long, so. One of the other pretty nice things is that most of the people who are in your classes with you actually want to be there, and they care about getting their degree. Where in high school, everyone has to be there, and people are going to slack off and be loud and obnoxious and just idiots. But for the most part, from what I've seen, is people want to be there. They want to learn, they want to get their degree so they can do better in life. And that is such a nice thing to actually be around people who care about their education. Okay, so the next thing I've realized is, wow, is it really hard to sit for 3 hours. Some of my classes run for that long, and oh my god. I mean, I like what we're learning, and it's really interesting stuff, but to sit there for 3 hours, even though we get a 10-minute break, is so difficult, because I am not a person who likes to sit for long periods of time. I don't think anyone really likes to sit for long periods of time, and it's just, ugh. That's one of the hardest transitions from high school to college, honestly, because in high school, I only had classes for 50 minutes long, which was nice because, you could stay focused, get your stuff done. I mean, sometimes we didn't have quite enough time to get through everything we needed to, but it worked. In college, it's 3 hours, and we definitely get through what we need to get through, but the flip side is, if we get through everything we need to get through early, the teacher will let us go a half an hour early, because in college you can do that. There's no bell system or anything, which is another really nice thing. So another thing I have learned is that when you're actually going for a degree on something you enjoy and stuff you like, classes seem a lot more interesting. I mean, sure, in high school you had to pick your classes, but you had a much smaller selection. And in college, you have to take a certain set of classes to get your degree, but they're interesting because you're going for a degree you want to go for. You're in a major you want to be in. And classes are so much more interesting, and there's so much more fun stuff to learn, and I just love it. So the last thing I learned is I was not as ready for college as I thought I was. In high school, I got A's, and it was fine, but my study habits weren't that great. I was a huge procrastinator, and that's kind of hurting me in college. I'm getting all my stuff done and on time, but it's a lot harder to sit down and work on an assignment that takes me 2 hours, because I never really had to do that in high school. I didn't take the time in high school to prepare myself with proper study habits and note-taking and not procrastinating and making sure things are done and time management skills. And it's really difficult to teach yourself those things at this point in your life, but it is possible because I can do it myself. But yeah, that's been a really hard thing for me. So if you're one of those people that isn't great at managing your time or studying, or you're really a huge procrastinator, try and work on that because it can kick your butt in college. So that is it for this week's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please leave a comment down below on things that maybe you have learned in college or things that you are looking forward to in college. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!